Michael Jordan didn't just play basketball, he redefined what greatness looks like. Long before social media, before highlight culture, and before superstars were protected, one man stepped onto the court and changed the game forever. But the truth is, it wasn't only his championships, his scoring titles, or his iconic dunks that made him different. It was something far more dangerous. Jordan entered the NBA at a time when talent alone wasn't enough to control the league. Yet season after season, he forced the entire basketball world to bend to his will. Defenders feared him. Teammates felt pressured by him. And opponents knew that if the game was close, the outcome was already decided. What most fans don't realize is that Michael Jordan didn't dominate basketball by being the nicest, the loudest, or even the most gifted player on the floor. He dominated it through an unbreakable mindset, a relentless hunger to win, and a refusal to accept anything less than perfection. This mindset didn't just win games, it rewrote the standards of basketball greatness. After Jordan, every superstar was expected to be clutch, ruthless, and unstoppable under pressure. Love him or hate him, one thing is undeniable. Basketball will never be the same because of Michael Jordan. Before Michael Jordan took control of the NBA, basketball was a very different game. The league had stars, but no single player truly dominated the mental space of opponents the way Jordan eventually would. Teams relied heavily on systems, coaching strategies, and collective effort. Superstars were respected, but they weren't feared. In the early 1980s, defense was physical, scoring was difficult, and games were often slow and grinding. Winning championships depended more on structure than individual brilliance. Players like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird were changing the league, but even they operated within team-focused systems. No one player had completely redefined what it meant to be unstoppable. Then Michael Jordan entered the NBA in 1984. At first, he looked like just another incredibly talented rookie. He could jump higher, move faster, and score more creatively than most players. But talent alone doesn't change a sport. What truly separated Jordan was not immediately visible on the stat sheet. Jordan brought an intensity that the league wasn't prepared for. He treated every possession as a personal challenge and every opponent as a target. Practices were no longer routine, they were battles. Games were no longer about surviving, they were about dominance. Opponents began to feel pressure before tip-off. Teammates felt it in the locker room. Jordan demanded excellence not just from himself, but from everyone around him. Mistakes were not tolerated. Comfort did not exist. This was the moment basketball began to shift. The NBA was no longer just a game of systems and teamwork. It was becoming a stage where one player's mentality could reshape the outcome of an entire league. And Michael Jordan was just getting started. What truly separated Michael Jordan from everyone else was not his talent. It was his mentality. Many players in the NBA were gifted, but Jordan was obsessed. He approached basketball with a level of intensity that made even elite professionals uncomfortable. Jordan believed that winning was not optional. Every practice, every drill, and every scrimmage felt like a playoff game. He pushed his teammates beyond their limits, sometimes crossing the line between leadership and cruelty. But in Jordan's mind, there was no room for weakness. If you couldn't handle the pressure, you didn't belong on the floor. He used anything as motivation, a comment from the media, a look from an opponent, or even imagined disrespect. Jordan would create enemies if he needed fuel. This self-manufactured fire kept him locked in, night after night, season after season. Opponents felt it most in close games. When the score was tight and the clock was running out, Jordan didn't hesitate. He attacked. Pressure didn't slow him down. It sharpened him. While others hoped not to fail, Jordan expected to succeed. This mentality didn't just lead to championships. It changed what fans and players believed a superstar should be. After Jordan, greatness meant dominance under pressure. It meant demanding more from everyone around you. It meant embracing the moment when the game was on the line. Michael Jordan didn't just outplay his rivals, he outthought them. And that mental edge became his most powerful weapon. Michael Jordan's impact went far beyond winning games and championships. He changed how basketball was played, how it was watched, and how greatness was measured. After Jordan, the NBA was no longer just a league, it became a global stage. It's built around superstars. Jordan proved that one player could control the emotional direction of an entire game. When he was on the floor, everything revolved around him. Defenses were designed specifically to stop him. Coaches lost sleep preparing for him. Fans tuned in just to see what he would do next. Basketball became must-watch entertainment. He also redefined what it meant to be a leader. Leadership was no longer just about encouragement or teamwork. It became about accountability, standards, and mental toughness. Future stars understood that talent alone wasn't enough. They had to dominate the moment. Players like Kobe Bryant openly modeled their careers after Jordan's mindset. LeBron James inherited the expectation of being the face of the league, carrying pressure that Jordan made normal. Every superstar who followed was judged against a standard Jordan created. Off the court, Jordan transformed basketball into a global brand. His influence helped turn the NBA into an international phenomenon. Sneakers became culture. Athletes became icons. Basketball became more than a sport. It became a lifestyle. The most shocking truth is this: Michael Jordan didn't just change basketball by winning. He changed it by making dominance the expectation and fear part of the game. He forced the world to accept that true greatness is uncomfortable, demanding, and relentless. That is why, decades later, his shadow still hangs over the NBA. Michael Jordan didn't leave the game behind, he defined it. Michael Jordan's greatness came at a cost, not just to his opponents, but to himself and everyone around him. The same mentality that made him unstoppable also made him demanding, relentless, and often misunderstood. He wasn't trying to be liked. He was trying to win. Teammates have admitted that playing with Jordan was exhausting. He pushed them harder than they believed possible. He challenged their confidence, tested their limits, and refused to accept excuses. But when the pressure reached its peak, those same teammates knew something important. If Jordan was on the floor, they had a chance to win. Jordan carried an unbearable weight of expectations. Every night, the world expected dominance. Failure was not an option. And instead of breaking under that pressure, he embraced it. He thrived in moments when others hesitated. This is what made Michael Jordan different. Greatness for him was not about balance or comfort. It was about sacrifice. It was about choosing obsession over peace, intensity over ease, and legacy over popularity. The true lesson of Michael Jordan is not just about basketball. It's about what it takes to be the best at anything. Greatness demands more than talent. It demands a willingness to be uncomfortable, to be criticized, and to stand alone, love him or hate him. Michael Jordan proved one undeniable truth. Legends are not born from comfort. They are built through pressure, pain, and an unrelenting refusal to lose. Years have passed, the game has evolved, and new stars have risen. Yet Michael Jordan remains the measuring stick for greatness. Rules have changed, pace has increased, and analytics now shape strategies. But the standard Jordan, it still stands untouched. What makes his legacy so powerful is not just the 6 championships or the perfect finals record. It's the way he owned the biggest moments. When the stakes were highest, Jordan didn't shrink, he expanded. He wanted the final shot, the final possession, the final word. Even players who never faced him feel his presence. Every clutch performance invites comparison. Every dominant season sparks debate. Every rising superstar eventually hears the same question: can he reach Jordan's level? That question exists because Jordan made excellence look inevitable. His influence lives in the mentality of modern players. The obsession with winning, the hunger to dominate, the refusal to back down. These traits didn't disappear when he retired. They became the blueprint Jordan also left behind. A cultural legacy that transcends basketball. He turned an athlete into a global icon and a sport into a worldwide language. From sneakers to storytelling, his impact reshaped how sports connect with people emotionally. Time has challenged many legends. It hasn't touched Michael Jordan. His legacy doesn't fade because it isn't built on numbers alone. It's built on moments, fear, belief, and an unmatched will to win. Michael Jordan's story is not just about basketball. It's about what happens when talent meets obsession. He showed the world that greatness demands sacrifice, pressure, and a relentless mindset that few are willing to carry. You don't have to agree with everything he did to respect what he became. Jordan wasn't perfect. He was intense. He was demanding. And he was unstoppable when it mattered most. That's why decades later, his name still sparks debates, admiration, and disbelief. Because greatness like his doesn't belong to one era, it belongs to history. So the next time you hear the name Michael Jordan, remember this: he didn't just play the game. He changed how greatness is defined, and that legacy will never be replaced.